turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark to motivate and make the industry shake. We put the balls in the place. I'm talking one chance at best. Yes, painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the cover with the drummer, passion never rests. Freedom is our teacher under pressure, now we blessed. See, I was dope, for the code. Hello, I start this gangsta. This the thanks I get. Hello, I started this gangsta. And this the mother thanks I get.
Another pro, writing like a clown, pencils down. Pencils down. Another pro, writing like a clown, pencils down. What comes around goes around, pencils down. There it is. Oh, fantastic. What a great day. What a great day, everyone. Hold on, let me turn my camera on. Let me be a part of this show with you. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name is Ethan Van Sciver, 27-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media, especially today. If I haven't proven that I should be trusted as a member of the media by now. If you don't know me by now, you will never, ever know me. Welcome, everyone. Oh, what a great day. I told you this was going to be a good day. I said that this morning. I kind of said, this is a day. This is a big day, Comicsgate. We went through a hell of a last couple of weeks with the Whisper Network article with Tess Fowler's cancer. Tess Fowler has cancer. Comicsgate is taking the brunt of all kinds of accusations and evil from SJWs and all this stuff. And why? Why is this happening? Why is Comicsgate being called a hate group? Why have these people all organized to take Comicsgate down and one big significant push? Because of today. That is why. Let me look at the audience here. Let's see how you guys are doing. Great to see you guys. Once Like Dude says, woot. Bill Whittaker says, right again. Wow, nice shirt, looking sharp. EVS, well, thank you so much. Let's see. Comic Work says, hey, EVS, can I presume you meant to say, can I get a shout out for another Comicsgate completed project? Get Eclipse at audible.com. We need to pull people from all formats. Comicsgate rules. Audible.com. Absolutely. Why not? Force Goes Fabio says, let the grooming begin. Wow. Slimer Snarf says, thanks for Froggy and Sal. You're welcome. Thank you for $20. Wow. Amazing. Thank you very much. Couldn't have picked a more gayer shirt. Come on. This shirt is not gay. Hail chat. Everyone, it's great to be with you. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. Let's get some more people in here. We've got 700 so far. And take a look at what's going on in the world. I will do that with you. In the meantime, let's just go and take a look at Twitter real fast here. Shia LaBeouf reportedly being eyed for Iceman role in the MCU. In other words, one of two things is happening here. This is either Hollywood calling Shia LaBeouf gay. That's a very complicated diss. Or Shia LaBeouf is taking a job as a Hollywood fluffer. Either one is possible at this point. Either one's possible. Shia LaBeouf rescuing his career, which is I love Shia LaBeouf. I miss that dude. Let me see here. David L., thanks for $1.49 and a super sticker. Appreciate you. Got another super sticker from Heel versus Babyface. $1.49. Thank you, Heel versus Babyface. Thank you, Az. Good to have you here. All right, so let's get right into the meat of things. We've got 777 people in the audience. That's the number of the Lord. That's the number of God. And I think that's a sign. I think that we need to follow signs. Numerology is going to be my new obsession. I'm going to totally do things based on numbers. Time of Dying, thanks for $5. The last few hours of Butch Cleaver is coming to a close. Back Butch Cleaver today. Herman Steadfast, thanks for $10. Appreciate that. No comment, just a little tip in the jar. Appreciate you. I don't mind Shia, but he's no Bobby Drake. Well, I think he's in for a surprise. Candace Boutelier says, I'm ready for a mic drop moment. All right. So, look, last year, AT&T finally completed its purchase and acquisition of Warner Brothers, of Time Warner. And that included DC Entertainment, which includes DC Comics. Now, DC Entertainment is everything DC Comics, okay? It's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all that stuff, the media that surrounds the comic book stuff. And the comic book publishing is just one small kernel, one small aspect of DC Entertainment. In fact, it's mostly seen as a research and development arm for DC Entertainment. They kind of figure, well, look, you can get stories to make comic books or to make movies out of from these comic books. You can make TV shows, you can make cartoons, you can make whatever you want. The stuff that will actually turn a profit based on some of the work that we're doing here at DC Comics Publishing. So it just makes sense. We're going to create the characters, and you guys can go ahead and make product that people actually do want to buy. And comic books are just not selling these days. So that seemed like a reasoned argument in another day and age. Now, that doesn't make as much sense. And I started saying last year that DC Comics, who were so excited about signing with AT&T, they were, obviously in desperate trouble. All comic book companies, the entire comic book industry is in desperate trouble financially. DC was quite excited about signing with AT&T because they thought that would kind of be a bailout for them. Little did they know that they were signing with their executioners. Little did they conceive that signing with AT&T would be signing their death warrant. Is that too melodramatic? It might be too melodramatic. So they signed with AT&T. They started to promote something called 5G. 5G was kind of a tribute to their new overlords, their heartless corporate overlords. They were going to call it the fifth generation of DC characters. And they were all going to be people of color and all the, it was going to be a big push towards political correctness, but also a way of DC Comics telling AT&T, we are necessary. Our publishing arm is necessary because we are, even though it might seem to you that Hollywood is producing all of the good superhero stories and that we are completely unnecessary. We do not need, there's no need for Tom King. There's no need for him. Because we've got people in Hollywood that are doing way better Batman stuff that appeals to enormous audiences and brings in $1 billion. We don't need Tom King. We don't need these guys who are friends of editors who were hired and put into positions due to gatekeeping and other weird SJW practices. We don't really need any of this. Now, DC's answer was, well, yeah, but we are a fountain of incredible ideas. And once you see 5G, you're going to see that it's not just Batman. It's not just the comics that we did before, but it's the comics that we're going to produce in the future, the ideas that we're going to offer you based on these properties that you already own. So 5G is the fifth generation of DC characters. Please don't axe us. Please don't kill and divest yourselves of the publishing line, please. There are a lot of people whose jobs depend on producing these pamphlets, these overpriced and increasingly irrelevant pamphlets, comic books. And AT&T kind of has been looking at them, and I think the writing has been on the wall for a little while now. And I've said that and been roundly ridiculed for it, by the way. I mean, I've had everyone from Rich Johnson say that I say crazy things, and I might say some kooky things, but I'm always right. The kooky things that I say are only kooky because the comic book industry is so fucking kooky. It sounds kooky when you say it aloud. It sounds weird. It sounds weird when you say Wonder Woman is going to be turned into a fat ass in mom jeans. Sounds weird. You would say, if I came out and said that last year, and said that Wonder Woman was going to be turned into a fat ass in mom jeans, Rich Johnson might come out and say, Ethan's crazy. He's saying crazy shit. And Rich Johnson would be right, or seemingly. I mean, I would have to look at my own self. I'd have to take a little introspective peek into my own heart and the things that I was saying, I was espousing to my audience. And I would have to say, am I nutty? Am I, that's too weird. Certainly that would never happen. But here we are in 2020, and Wonder Woman is indeed a fat ass in mom jeans. I don't know. This is this. Wait a second. Let me show you. You're not going to believe this. Some of you might not have seen this yet. We're having a good time with it, of course. Why wouldn't we? This is the cover to Wonder Woman 1984. This is Wonder Woman now. Wonder Woman has no boobies and a big fat ass. And I don't know what's up with the eyes here. I don't know what happened with that. It's a little bit like The Hills Have Eyes. We combined this meme, by the way. So this is actually, they're releasing this. This is a Rooster Teeth variant cover for Wonder Woman 1984. And you've got like Andy Corey over there, editor at DC Comics for now. Let's hope that this saying, I don't see anything wrong with this cover. Bitch, if I turned this cover in 2005 and said, here's my Wonder Woman cover, this would have been kicked back to me so fast. If I turned this cover in 2015, it would have been kicked back to me so fast. It's all about who you are. It's all about who the artist is, I suppose, that allows them. If you look like this and you say, well, this is body positivity, I'm just trying myself. Nobody wants to see you as Wonder Woman. Nobody wants to. Now, at the same time that this is going on, Dan Slott is complaining that Spider-Man used to make fat jokes at the Kingpin in the comics. He said they're hurtful. We need to go back. Spider-Man should not be making fat jokes at the Kingpin, who's a mass murdering gangster. The last thing that Spider-Man needs to be doing is making him feel bad about his weight problems. So we decided to combine Spider-Man dissing the Kingpin with this cover. So now I know why you're called Wonder Woman, because you're always wondering what's for dinner. Just combine these two memes at once. If I had said last year the Wonder Woman was going to be a fat ass in mom jeans, you guys would have said, I think Ethan is, off the reservation a little bit. And I would have to agree. But everything that goes on in comics sounds kooky. When you say it aloud, it sounds weird. And I said last year, look, AT&T, it's clear. AT&T is signaling what's going on. AT&T is saying the only reason why we hooked up with Time Warner was not to make comic books. It was to invent a streaming platform. Why? Because television ad revenue is down. It's down in the gutter. You cannot sell advertising through television anymore because people aren't watching TV. And, if you'd said that 10 years ago, you would have been, people would have looked at you weird. Television is dying. People don't want television anymore. They don't want to wait to be told what to watch and when to watch it with ads that they can't skip through. People like streaming platforms now. People really appreciate Netflix. People appreciate Hulu. People like the Disney Plus. I like it once a year. I mean, when Mandalorian comes out, the Disney Plus is cool. But that's what people like, and that is the future. Why? The future is choice. The future is the customer being able to make choices based on his own tastes, and not being instructed on what to enjoy and when. Television is dying. So, AT&T buys Warner Brothers. They're both two companies that are badly in debt. Their combined debt is close to $180 billion. That's a lot of money. It's more than I have. It's probably more than all of us have together. What's in your wallet right now? We couldn't bail them out. We couldn't do it if we tried. But that's why AT&T bought Time Warner. They said, you have all of this cool stuff. What does Warner Brothers have? Warner Brothers has everything. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are just a small part of it. Warner Brothers has they have all the James Cagney movies. They have the entire Warner Brothers catalog. They have Bugs Bunny. They have everything. So here is AT&T saying, let's merge, let's form a platform, let's make a streaming service. And in the meantime, you've got gigantic hedge funds. You've got people who, like Elliott, who are meeting with AT&T. I mean, these people have invested billions of dollars into AT&T, and they're saying, cut the fat, trim the fat. Spider-Man's going to make a joke that's going to upset Dan Slott in a second. Trim the fat. And AT&T says, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So back last year, I was telling you guys, much to the ridicule of my peers, I'm peerless. I don't have any peers. Let's be honest. It's lonely at the top. I was being ridiculed for saying AT&T is going to divest itself of DC Comics. It's going to happen. And people said, why would AT&T get rid of Batman and Superman? No, they're going to keep those. They're going to keep the characters. They're just going to stop publishing comic books. It's very simple. They're not into, I mean, it's just this weird kind of, thing that's attached to them. It's, they don't need it. They're not in this to publish comic book pamphlets. That's not part of their business agenda. I mean, these are people who are writing off television. They're writing off television as something that's unprofitable. You'd think they're going to keep comic books? Just do the math. I mean, it's not going to. That's going to be one of the first things to go when they're cutting the fat. So in any case, I was saying this, and I think it alarms some people. It alarmed people in all the right places. Jim Lee last year at C2E2 said, hey, our intent is not to do a line-wide reboot. Our focus is to continue what we've done best, pairing characters with great creators, just the status quo. Dan DiDio was allowed to go. Dan DiDio was, quote-unquote, fired. I don't know what the situation was there. I guess he was fired, probably in anticipation of this bloodletting that's happening right now. Some of the bigger execs usually get about a 6-month lead before this kind of a thing happens. So Dan was let go probably with a nice big golden parachute. Jim Lee was left behind to, I don't know, just look at this, the status quo. Just keep the status quo until all of this goes away. Now, one of the weird things that people were saying last year was when they heard that AT&T was buying DC, they're listening to what I'm saying, and they're saying, is it possible that Marvel Comics, aka Disney, would buy out DC Publishing? And Jim Lee, of course, says, no, that's not going to. Well, of course, they will not. I mean, Marvel will never buy DC because Marvel would want to own Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and all of the DC characters so that they can make movies. And that's what all of this is all about. It's all about who gets to make the movies, who gets to make the television, because who cares about the comic books? Here we go. Here's Jim Lee talking about me. You guys hear any good rumors lately? Oh, yeah. I'm on stage at C2E2. Yeah, there are a lot of crazy rumors out there. The DC Comics is in trouble. Jim Lee starts out by saying, let me start out by saying, to address some of the stuff that's out there, there are rumors. There's been some speculation out there. But DC's been around for 85 years, and we're going to be around another 85 years. Really? You think so? Holy shit. I don't think so. And certainly not after this. DC Comics staff told about layoffs today. DC Universe First. Now, over the weekend on Friday, we learned from Variety magazine that AT&T was going to mass layoff Warner Brothers. They were going to go through Warner Brothers with a chainsaw, like it says in the description and the title of this video. They were going to lay off 900 people. 900 people are getting the axe today, this week. And it started today. They said Monday was Monday, Bloody Monday. And Rich Johnson, of course, reports about it on Bleeding Cool. He's hearing already from people who, let me just refresh this just in case here. All right, in case there's any updates. Layoffs at Warner Brothers have been widely expected over the weekend. And this morning, Bleeding Cool learned that this would indeed DC Comics as well. How about include? How about if you add they're nervous over there. They're nervous. They're not proofreading their own stuff. This would indeed include DC Comics as well, including editorial staff. Please fire Andy Corey. God, please fire Andy Corey. Oh my God, what a great day this would be. Let me take a minute to just ruminate about firing Andy Corey. That would be good. That would, I think I would smoke a cigar. I think I might have a few drinks. All right, Variety has numbered 650 layoffs coming from Warner Brothers, while HBO is expected to lose up to 175 staffers, topping 800 staffers. These come in the wake of a major overhaul at Warner Brothers, led by new Warner CEO Jason Killer. Jason Killer. I love it. Jason, get in there and do your thing, pal. Clear this out. Clear these SJWs out of here. Oh, it's so sad. I'm so sorry. And a lot of people are losing their jobs. Just terrible. Jason Killer changes. Again, Rich, you've got to get a proofreader. Changes have already seen HBO Max programming leaders Bob Greenblatt and Kevin Riley and Keith Kokolza go as part of an attempt to merge Warner Media's production operations into one, as Warner's chief Ann Sarnoff is now in charge of developing content for HBO Max, while Andy Forssell, general manager of HBO Max, is now in charge of the new entity. HBO's Casey Bloys, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? In a memo to staff, Killer talked about reducing the size of our teams, our layers, and our overall workforce, and that seems to be what's going on right now. There are a number who expect DC Universe to be absorbed in all of this, which might make the upcoming DC Fandom online event a little awkward. Little awkward for DC fans. DC Comics did not, however, respond to inquiries made this morning. Yeah, they're all terrified. Bleeding Cool is being told that staff were just told they're being laid off. So they're being told now. And their positions will be eliminated in December. Your boy Zach has been saying this all along as well. Your boy Zach is saying that it's going to be even worse for the comic book industry at large come December, because, all the PPP bailout loans are going to come due. And at that point, look, it's time to, you're allowed to fire people. You're allowed to downsize your business. You couldn't downsize your business while you were accepting a government handout, but once that ends, you're allowed to go ahead and fire anybody that you want. So, that's gonna affect all the other companies as well. Look for big changes at IDW, probably Marvel Comics. Here's that memo in full. Here's the memo. Team. It has been a little over 90 days since I joined the mission and the team. These past 3 months have exceeded my already high expectations. As I shared with you recently, my bullishness about our future has only grown as I have gotten to know you much better and as I have gotten to know our company much better. As some of you may recall, I shared 3 thoughts with you on my first day email. Number 1, that history was filled with examples of special entrepreneurial companies, all caps comics, that leaned into moments of great change in order to better serve customers. All caps comics. Cyberfrog, Unforgettable Tales. Everybody's getting it right now. Everybody's excited. Everybody's excited about Cyberfrog, Unforgettable Tales. And Wrecked Planet, which you can back right now. Go over and back Cyberfrog, Wrecked Planet, and help me lean into these great changes and support my entrepreneurial spirit as we laugh at SJW mainstream comic books coming to an end. And a well-deserved end, I think. 2, that our taking smart and bold risks is so important to the road ahead. It was very risky for me to step forward and offer Salamandroid and Frog toys to all of my backers. I mean, look, if you back Wrecked Planet with this Jay Lee cover, here's another bold man who made a daring stand and did covers for Cyberfrog, at the cost of being persecuted by the same people who were going to find themselves unemployed today. So, well, they're going to know they're unemployed. They'll be unemployed in December. Those same people who persecuted Jay Lee for drawing this beautiful Cyberfrog cover are going to be unemployed. Jay Lee took a stand. He took a chance. And he did this beautiful piece of artwork. And if you buy this comic book, you're going to get a free Cyberfrog PVC toy. It's $25. You're also going to get like 2 other comics and a keychain and a bunch of trading cards and a sticker, because that is how, 2 stickers. I'm sorry, 2 stickers. Because that is how we do business here at All Caps Comics. We customers first. Customers first. Link is in the description. Back Cyberfrog. Number 3, my belief that missionary companies ultimately shine. That's what we do. We proselytize Comicsgate every single day. And my strong belief that ours is a team filled with missionaries. Holy shit. They're Mormons. I didn't realize this. I didn't realize that they were, or maybe, Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know. I don't know. Is DC Comics a Jehovah's Witness company and I didn't realize it? Well, they better start banging on doors and trying to sell these fat ass Wonder Woman comics. Door to door. Avon calling. Hey, it's DC Comics. DC calling. Hi, can I talk to the lady of the house? No, you would think I'd be asking for daddy because we're selling superhero comic books and they're traditionally for men. But is the lady of the house here? Ma'am, do you like comic books? No, you don't? Is that because Wonder Woman doesn't have a fat ass in our comic books? She does now, ma'am. Ma'am, Wonder Woman now has a fat ass in our comic books. She looks like you. Now will you buy? Oh, I guess not. All right, let's go to the next door. Fat ass Wonder Woman DC Comics calling. Missionaries. It's a missionary outlet, everyone. Door to door. Ring those doorbells. Sell those fat ass comics. With the above as context, I'd like to share some decisions I'm announcing today that represent our leaning into this great moment of change in order to better serve our customers. These changes involve you eating ramen and being unemployed. We're better serving our customers by severing your employment. It's about time. It's about time. These changes, which are neither timid or without risk, are possible in part because we are missionaries. We are missionaries that ultimately believe we can and will change the world through story. Oh, that is what this all comes back to. Somebody's been drinking. Is this Jim Lee? Who wrote this? Who wrote this shit? You got to be kidding me. No, this isn't Jim Lee, is it? There's no way. I mean, this is something else. Now, I don't think that comic skaters are missionaries. I think we're pioneers. I think we are decided. We're heading west. We're seeing what's going on in the east with their disgustingness, with their degeneracy, and we've packed up our carts and we are heading west because we hear there's gold out there and also freedom. Now, of course, we have some people. There is the Miller Party. The Smiller Party, like the Donner Party, they ended up cannibalizing themselves, hung up in the mountains. They went the wrong way. Snowfall. They didn't follow the path. There's a path. There's a path being blazed by people like your boy Zach, people like Douglas Ernst, people like Vice Admiral Cummings, Rear Admiral Cummings. I'll follow that path. And we go out west and we set up shop and we start selling comic books. I was telling this to Shane Davis last night. I was like, you understand you watch Deadwood? I was like, if you watch Deadwood, and then we got into a big conversation about who was Wyatt Earp and who was Doc Holliday. I said that John Malin is Wyatt Earp. Doc Holliday would probably be Cecil just because of the drunken illness of Cecil. Let's see. Sketch Therapy, we decided was Billy the Kid, just out there, making his own law. I don't know who I am yet. I don't know who I am. Buffalo Bill, maybe. Wild Bill Hickok. In any case, we got hung up on that. But the point is, we're out here making our own town. We're making our own Deadwood. We're setting up tents and we're selling people the products that they will need to enjoy themselves. So we're comic books. We're selling fantasy here. We're selling escapism because you can't get it back east anymore. And they come over here and they call us names and they say, hey, Deadwood, you're a hate group. And we say, no. We love good stories. We just don't like you guys. We don't like your weirdness. We don't like the politics and ideology that you're bringing to the comic book industry. We think it's ruinous. We think it's going to end the comic book industry. And they say, take that, you incels. Here's fat ass Wonder Woman. What do you have to say about that? And what we have to say about that is, all right, we're getting back to our stuff. That's nice, guys. That's nice. That's what Comicsgate is. It's just the Wild West. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's uncharted land. But there's gold out here. There's definitely gold out here. We want people to get out here and try to build something for themselves. Missionaries, though, I don't know about missionaries. That's a little weird. Because of the gift that is the internet, we have what I believe is one of the greatest opportunities in the history of media, which is this is the best way to get fired I've ever heard. Like, this guy is making it sound like you losing your job is going to change the world. I don't want this kind of a speech when I'm about to lose my job. We're here to change the world, to make the world a better place. We are missionaries of story. And that is why in December you will not have a job. I think this is the worst way to get fired imaginable. Don't make it sound like it's a good thing for everybody else when I lose my job. I mean, that's not, I mean, it is, in this, if Andy Corey loses his job, it's a good thing for everyone else. But don't make it sound like this is a great thing. This is a triumph, that we're going to the moon just because you're going to fire 700 people. That doesn't seem right. Because of the gift of the internet, we have what I believe is one of the greatest opportunities in the history of media, which is to deliver our beloved stories and experiences directly to hundreds of millions of consumers across the globe. Hundreds of millions. That doesn't sound like we're talking about comic books. That doesn't sound like we're speaking of comics at all. That sounds like we're speaking of a streaming service. Earning this ambitious future won't come easy. Some of you are going to have to be fired. Some of you are going to have to lose your homes. Some of you are going to have to, take up a job in the service industry. And we told you guys many times, Comic Skater said comic books are a service industry. They're a customer service industry. And these people were so outraged by that. They said, we are not a customer service industry. We are in the monetization of arts industry, I think Jamal said. The monetization of art. We create art and we turn it into money. Well, how do you do that? Who's giving you the money? Customers, I guess. No, the companies are. The publishers are giving us the money. Where are they getting it from? They're getting it from retailers and distributors. Where are they getting it from? I don't know. Customer service. Learn it. You're going to need it. Customer service is a skill you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn it immediately. It's not easy. Customer service is hard work. We're working on it right now. Look at this. Look at all these happy people getting Cyberfrog comics. Look at the packaging that we make. This isn't an easy thing to do. Look, happy people getting books. Let me show you what my dining room looks like right now because of customer service. Look at what the fuck. Oh, yeah. This is my life every single day. Being chased by the blue hairs. Being chased by blue-haired land whales, but enjoying myself. Absolutely enjoying myself. Hey, we got 2,400 people watching right now. Guys, lean over, hit that like button or hit that unlike button. If you're here to hate on me, hit that thumbs down button. But if you're here because you're excited about today and this is kind of fun, you're enjoying the show, hit that thumbs up, and why not hit the subscribe button too? Subscribe to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm telling you, this year is going to be a crazy year, and it's going to get weirder and weirder, and you're going to want to be a part of this weirdness. This is my gosh, there's a lot of people getting their comics today. This is what our dining room looks like right now. This is where your Aunt Andrea sits, and she gets tape out of this tape dispenser. This is a stack of books. And then she puts them in here, and then she tapes them all up. This is Hunter's work here. Hunter is bagging and boarding all of these comics with his friends. We got tons of these. Your comic is in here somewhere, guys. It's in here somewhere. You see, this is labeled 2. These are Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales number 2. These ones right here are Unforgettable Tales number 1s. And here's a bottle of water, which is all we allow Hunter to have. Bread and water when he's doing this. We treat these people. Look, you're at work. This isn't a 5-star resort. What do you expect? What do you expect? Wine? You expect a little Cabernet and caviar? F you. Get back to work, son. I don't say F you to my kid. I would never say that. Not yet. We haven't come to that yet, but no, I would never say that to him. Here we go. This is just customer service, guys. Learn it, all of you people. All right, to do so, I believe it is vital that we change how we are organized, that we simplify, meaning simply you're fired, and that we act boldly and with urgency. We're all in this together, except for the fact that you're not going to be with us. I love this shit. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I absolutely love it. We're all in this together, guys, except for you. You can be in it with us from the sidelines because we're firing you. We are fired. Learn to code. That is right. The pandemic's economic pressures and acceleration of direct-to-consumer streaming. That's what we're... Hold on a second. Again, I'm really enjoying this. Direct-to-consumer. That is where we are. That is what the Comicsgate model is. They're realizing that this is the future, and I'm starting to see more and more people who deeply resent having to admit that we've been right all along. Whether or not you like our message about fat-ass Wonder Woman being the future, what people want from comic book superheroines, whether or not you agree with that, look, if your mileage may vary. I know hers does. But, you know, one thing that you cannot deny is that we're 100% correct about direct-to-consumer being the future. People do not want to go to brick-and-mortar stores anymore. I'm sorry, Larry. I know you get mad at me every time I say this. People don't want to do that. That just is not the future. Even now, the pandemic is teaching us that I don't have to go to the supermarket. I can just order my groceries and have them delivered and pay $20. Is my time at the supermarket worth $20? Yes, it sure is. I'm paying a $20 tip to have my groceries delivered, and that is $20 for the hour that I could stay home and draw frogs instead of going out and, buying milk and cake and apple pie, donuts, candy bars, beer, wine. Just bring it to me and I'll give you $20. That is the future. That is how all business is going to be transacted. And if you can't see it now, I'm sorry. It's going to hit you pretty soon. It's going to hit you that like point and click, buying things over the computer and having them shipped to your house, and people will wait. People will wait for them. That is the future. Comicsgate needs to adapt to this. We need to learn to have our comic books ready to go. We need to learn to be quicker about delivering our comics. We need to make our comics more special, make them bigger events. You know, I'm working on the presentation. For me, it's presentation. My comics need to look beautiful. They need to feel like they are worth $10 or $25, depending on what comic book that you get. It needs to be a good time. The package that comes needs to be fun. That's the future of comics. The future of comics is not, well, now we're selling in bookstores. That's just not the future of comics. There are some people who are going to be over there. You are going to sell manga. You're going to sell Dog Man, some other things in bookstores. But bookstores aren't the future either. Bookstores are just hanging on as well. You know, B. Dalton is gone. Books A Million, I think, is gone, you know. Borders is mostly gone. Is Borders still around? I haven't seen a Borders in a while. I think Barnes and Noble is like the last man standing. All of this is going to change. The world is going to change. It's going to change within our lifetimes. Within my lifetime, I believe. You know, if I stop eating so much pie, the world will change and we will adapt to it. We'll be forced to adapt to it or we'll be left behind. Direct to consumer streaming. This right here is important. This is about choice. This is about immediacy. This is the future. They recognize it. Direct to consumer streaming adoption places an even higher premium on these points. To accomplish this, we're going to do the following. Number one, we are elevating HBO Max in the organization. HBO Max is currently their streaming service. Okay, you're going to be able to see the Green Lantern show that I'm going to be paid a lot of money for. I'm sure. I'm waiting for that paycheck. You're going to be able to see that Green Lantern show on HBO Max. In the organization and expanding its scope globally, we are simplifying how we organize our studios. We are creating a consolidated international unit focused on scale and efficiency. That's right. This is what the Elliott Group, this is what these investors, this is what this hedge fund was telling AT&T to do last year. And we saw them say that, and we knew that they were going to listen. Right here on Comic Artist Pro Secrets, if you're watching my show all the time, this isn't news to you. You're just saying, hooray, we were right again. We were expecting all of this to happen. Jim Lee, of course, gaslit his audience. Let me start. You hear any good rumors lately? Yeah, I heard really good rumors on Comic Artist Pro Secrets that AT&T only wants to become a streaming service with Time Warner, and that AT&T and the DC Comics publishing is a vestigial tale, that they will they will definitely amputate at some point very shortly, and that DC Entertainment is the future. They're going to do nothing but movies and streaming television and stuff like that. And there's going to be no more publishing. And if there is publishing, it is going to be licensed out to other comic book creators, other comic book publishers like myself. And I will say, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. A lot of people ask me, they're like, if Green Lantern is available for license, would you license it and do Green Lantern comics? No, I wouldn't. Why would I do that? It's like, no, I have Cyberfrog. I own Cyberfrog. I own Rainbow Brew. I own Fearsome. I only want to do my own stuff because there's unlimited money and unlimited freedom in owning your own stuff and publishing your own stuff. Doing Green Lantern, whoever does Green Lantern, you're in a licensed IP kind of situation. The limits, you're restricted. You have to answer to people. And ultimately, the rewards are what? You feel pretty good about yourself for keeping Green Lantern alive. The work of creators from 80 years ago. That is not the future either. That is not the future of comic books. The future of comic books is creating new things, offering customers new ideas, new concepts. The future for comic books is Harry Potter. It's Twilight. It is YA. It is young adult. It's about infrequency. It's about anticipation. It's about an improved presentation. And it's about delivering direct to consumer. That is the future of comics. Longer comic books, more infrequently offered, build anticipation, and ship them straight to the customers. It's also about YouTube. This is the marketing arm that Comicsgate has adopted. And it's worked out pretty great because we speak to you guys directly. You guys know who we are. You see the comic books being made. You feel like you're a part of them. You're listened to. I was going to, look, well, I can't tell you what I was going to do, and I changed my mind because I listened to you guys. I was going to do something drastic in this story. I was going to let Salamandroid live. And then I listened to you guys, and you guys said, no, kill Salamandroid. And I went, oh, I better kill Salamandroid because that's what the fans want. That is the future of comics. That is absolutely the future of comics. This isn't. Jim Lee saying DC's been around for 85 years. We're going to be around another 85 years? Doing what? Jim, you're not going to live to be 85. I mean, you'll live to be 85. You probably won't live to be 170, though. That's 85 plus 85, I think. Waziger said, no, we said kill Cecil. Oh, I see. Well, there's still room for that to happen. All right, here we go. We're going to do the following things. These are the following things that they're going to do to make life better for everyone. We are creating a consolidated international unit focused on scale and efficiency. So there's going to be, AT&T International that is going to focus on just keeping things small and efficient. We are bringing our key commercial activities into one group to allow us to operate more strategically. And we're making other structural changes that will help us operate more effectively and efficiently. Andy Forsell, general manager of HBO Max, will now be leading a newly created HBO Max operating business unit and report to me. Andy and his team will be responsible for the product, marketing, and consumer engagement and global rollout of HBO Max. And Sarnoff, Warner Brothers chair and CEO and friend to Jeffrey Epstein. No, I don't know that she was or not. I'm just kidding about that. It's an allegation that I made just now, just for fun. We'll be leading our newly created studios and networks group, combining original production, content studios, and programming capabilities currently spread across Warner Brothers, HBO, HBO Max, TNT, TBS, and True TV. This group will oversee all Warner Media television series and motion picture development, production, and programming, partnering with Andy to ensure HBO Max is successful globally. All right, so this is more HBO programming, HBO Max. Where is our comic book stuff here? See, they don't even care. It's not even about comics. But DC Comics, DC Comics, DC Comics. Three of those talented and admired leaders who will be leaving the company are Bob Greenblatt, Kevin Riley, and Keith Kokoza. These are the first three to get fired. I want to thank Bob and Kevin for getting us to this point with the integration of HBO and the legacy of Turner Networks and launch of HBO Max. It's been such an impressive sequence of events. We're so much better off for it. I owe a tremendous amount of gratitude to all these guys who I've just destroyed. Absolutely terrific. Where's DC Comics? Let's see. Bleeding Cool has been told. Staff were just told they're laid off. Let's find out what's up with what here. Let me just refresh this as well. No. Hold on. I'll quit sharing for a minute and then I'm gonna look forward here. DC Comics staff told about layoffs today. DC Universe first ? All right, we're gonna watch, guys. I think by the end of the day, we should start hearing about who was told what. We'll find out who was told what about who's going. Should be interesting. It should be kind of fun. But yeah, these big structural changes, guys, they're going to affect the comic book industry. This is what comics are heading towards. We knew it. We could see it from miles and miles away. There are people who want things to remain the same, and things are not going to remain the same. Things are going to change, and we can adapt to them. I think we have the best model right now. Why do I love Comicsgate? I love Comicsgate because, our creator model works so well. People say, hey, but you're not selling, $4 comic books to 50,000 people. No, I'm selling $25 comic books to 9,000 people. 9,000 people is manageable. It's something that I can do out of my house. I can ship my comic books out of my house. If we grow, which is inevitable, my business will slowly grow along with it. But the idea of being able to service, take care of, and protect a small customer base is ideal. It's absolutely ideal. That is how to get wealthy in comics. All right, let me read some super chats here and see what's up with you guys. And we are going to I might let some people in. I'll do a little Q&A with you guys and see what you think about things. Oh, they changed everything with YouTube. Every day they change things and they make me chase my tail. They make me chase my super chats so I can see where they are. Oh, here they are. Okay. Goodness sakes. Wow. Who specifically do you think will be let go first? Well, Dan DiDio was the first one to go. I think editorial is going to go. I think it's going to be streamlined big time. I believe DC Comics is going to be reduced to about 15 or 20 comics. And that's at first. So a lot of editorial is going to go. A lot of editorial. Now, when editorial goes, that means that the comics line is going to be drastically shrunk, which means an untold number of freelancers and creators are going to suddenly find themselves without work. Those people are going to be free to either crowdfund their comics or try to find work at the increasingly sad game of musical chairs that's going to go on within the mainstream comic book industry. And I'm telling you, like right now, this is the best it's going to ever be again. Right now, this is it. It's like this is the Marvel, IDW, Boom, all these companies, they're in real trouble. Marvel is going to suffer some similar setbacks by the end of the year. I can't see most of these companies. Valiant is going to close down by the end of the year. Boom, IDW will probably close down. There is going to be very, very little work. There is going to be some work. I mean, for a little while longer, they will be publishing comics. They're going to publish trade paperbacks. They'll probably put out, a Superman book, a couple of Batman books. They'll probably put out a few comics, but the line is going to shrink. It's going to shrink way down. There's some people who think once it gets down to the way things were maybe in the 1980s, when there was like a checklist in Marvel Comics and there were only like 20 books a month and you could collect them all, maybe it'll stabilize from there. But the comic book industry is no longer going to be able to support and sustain, the talent that it once was able to. And the question is, are those books that are being produced, are they going to go to the talented skilled professionals who are now expensive. I mean, they price themselves out of this current industry, or are they going to go to increasingly to tumblerinas and weirdos that cost nothing, that are willing to work for $25,000 a year? Or is that where this is all going? It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Ideally, it would be fun to see all the tumblerinas and SJWs thrown out on their asses and no longer able to work in mainstream comics. That would be fun to see. But that isn't necessarily what is going to happen. Everything is going to be about price considerations. Stan Hooper says, fire Bendis. Yes, I think that could be one of the things that does happen. I think Bendis's salary probably prices him out. And they're probably looking at what he's done while he's been at DC Comics, and no comic that he's been on has increased in sales. It's possible that Bendis will have to go too. That's a distinct possibility. But again, the fact that Jim Lee is still there alone as publisher or president, whatever his title is, of DC Comics, without Dan DiDio, and Dan DiDio wasn't replaced, that in itself suggests that there's no plans for DC Comics in the future. Absolutely no plans. Jim Lee is not somebody who should be the publisher or president of a company like DC Comics. I believe his job title was always honorary. He was given that job to keep him where he is because he's a very valuable piece of, as they say, horseflesh. He's an incredible artist. They don't want him drifting over to Marvel Comics. So they gave him, a substantial salary and an enormous job title to keep him where he is. But this isn't a guy who can run a comic book company. I mean, Wildstorm wasn't, run very well. It kind of suggests that there's a general sense of impermanence about all of this. Could Jim Lee run a DC Comics that has been slimmed down to 15 titles? That is interesting. Like, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. We're going to have to see. But I mean, just look at that. Just think of the fact that Jim Lee, who I worked at DC, I'd never heard a damn thing from Jim Lee. I never heard a thing from him. All the questions that I had, all of the concerns that I had were answered by Dan DiDio, not Jim Lee. So, they didn't replace him. I don't know. It says bad things. All right. Let's see here. Are all the Vespis cards out? Says Esh2448. I never got mine. Interesting. Okay. Look, there was an email that went out. And that email had a slot that you could fill in your address. Did you do that? Because if you did that, you should have gotten your Vespis card. If you didn't get your Vespis card, it didn't make it to you through the mail, and it got returned to us. You know who to email. Boy Dunyen says gay means happy, right? As in Flintstones will have a gay old time. Yeah, it means that too. Scott McCullough says, hail EVS, check the pre-launch page. It also means homosexual. Hail EVS, check the pre-launch page for Sidekick Island for a bloody superhero satire. 44 enter, but there are no safe spaces on this island of death. Loki's Mornings of Mischief says, that's not Wonder Woman. That's the monster SJW that ate Wonder Woman. Raging Golden Eagle says, I've seen Cal Arts that look better than that cover. Yeah, it's really bad. Like, it isn't good. Wyatt Holiday says, hey, Uncle E, I think AT&T didn't take long to assess the useless talent at DC. Don't forget to back our Dana #0 Legendary Edition. 9 days left. That's Wyatt Holiday. Literature Devil says, superheroes are not us. They should inspire us. Yeah, that is the difference between SJWs and their understanding of superheroes and normal people. Normal people realize that superheroes are supposed to be the elite. They're supposed to inspire us to be better than we could ever possibly be. We're not supposed to look in them and see ourselves. And certainly not DC characters. I mean, DC superheroes have always been aspirational characters. They've always been inspirational. They're meant to be hope. They represent gods who are here to save us. They're not Marvel characters who represent kind of damaged people who accidentally fell in vats of chemicals, who accidentally walked in front of an atomic bomb, who accidentally had chemicals thrown at their eyes, blinding them, but giving them extrasensory perception, who accidentally flew a rocket into space and absorbed cosmic rays, which hopelessly mutated and deformed their friends. That's Marvel Comics, that is. But even still, those characters are meant to be sexier, better, cooler than we could ever be. They're always sitting on walls crying in the rain. Yeah. It's very sad. They should not be fat asses. I think that's all I want to say. I mean, I guess the point of that rant is that they shouldn't be fat asses. I love your comics, says David L. I don't care how long they take within reason, because you can't rush perfection. Cyberfrog is a damn masterpiece. Yes, it is. I agree with you. Cyberfrog is a masterpiece. Cyberfrog Wreck Planet is going to knock your socks off, I promise you. And I hope you did back it. Stonewall says, if you like Flossie's music, try Froggy Fresh, the baddest. It reminds me of your money motto. War Dance Comics. The fan art fixing this Wonder Woman cover has been amazing. Our artist and our Twitter guy drew better than this in an hour. Also issues Volume 1 on Indiegogo. GMTC Podcast says, Jim Lee is the worst liar since Ken Lay of Enron. Holy cow, that's a nice comparison. Verukasaki 86 is breaking news. Ambush bug replaces Jim Lee at DC Comics. Lord D Drum says, let's focus on original Comicsgate IPs. Let DC slowly burn. David Allen says, hit my comics a few days ago. Keep up the great work and I will keep buying. God bless you and your family. Andrea is doing an awesome job as the people person too. I know, she's good with people. I'm, I shouldn't be on the air. She shouldn't let me. Why does Andrea let me talk to everyone? I'm the face of All Caps Comics. Andrea is definitely the heart and soul. But I am the face of it. What a disaster. What a fucking disaster. I wonder if I could train Hunter to be good with people. That's what I should have been doing his whole life. But I guess I failed to do that. As a father. No, it's just going to have to be me. It's going to have to be me as the face of All Caps Comics. Forward-facing, friendly, optimistic, sarcastic, certainly. Sometimes sexy in my cruelty. But other than that, Andrea can be the one who makes you guys feel better. If your book comes in damaged, she'll fix that. And she's good about that. She gets problems fixed right away. I mean, if you guys ever were to get a damaged book, like we get it, boom, turned around immediately. Yes. Okay, let me see here. More super chats. I backed the Ides of March cover on day one, says Massive Panda. But now I want the Jay Lee cover too, because one, Jay Lee's a champ, and two, Tom King's a punk. I agree with all of that, Massive Panda. We are in simpatico. We are, Snarkticon DM says Wenger would be Festus. Dex Luther says Smiller and Doug died of dysentery while on the Oregon Trail. Yeah, a little bit. In our metaphor about, Comicsgate being a trip to the Wild West, establishing a new town and a new civilization. Charlie's London says, I have a fat ass and I don't want Wonder Woman to look like me. Ass, titty. Ass, titty, says Charlie's London. Canceled Jeremy says EVS equals Haas Cartwright. Is that from, that would be Bonanza, right? Sarcticon DM says, missionaries get eaten by cannibals. Don't they know? That is true. Talking and Drawing with Shane Davis says, that read like a call for virgin sacrifices to a volcano god. Shane, it kind of did. It sounded a little bit crazy to me, too. I like the idea of AT&T basically announcing that they're missionaries. They're missionaries of story, and that's why we're going to fire you guys. We are all out there trying to sell the gospel of Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers. Yeah. I've been warning brothers since last year about this. I've been warning all these brothers. Get out of there. You're about to lose your job. Indeed. All right, let me see here. I get my food from the supermarket, not the farm. LOL, says the Black Blur. Jeremy S. says, just wondering, I ordered tier that gets preview of Wreck Planet. Do I have to wait until they come in? When are they coming? Thanks for being a sunbeam in the darkness. Yeah, you do have to wait. They're going to be coming in this month, though, so we'll get those out to you. Lord Crackhead 33 says the Wreck Planet 10-page preview comics are coming too. That's right, they're coming this month. Hatch 450 SX says door kickers just kicked my door, perfect shape. Brian Rickard says Wonder Woman is on your pie regiment. Congrats on the win. Snarkticon DM says time for DC staff to join Mundane Matt delivering Uber Eats. Is that what Mundane Matt is doing now? Uber Eats, huh? Interesting. Let's see. Doing comics missionary style, says Al Bundy. Yeah. Rainbow. It's a rainbow in the dark. How come I didn't click? Come on, guys. Okay. A rainbow in the dark, says Blarbful. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I've got my Rainbow Brute stuff already coming. These are the Rainbow Brute Dazzler stickers that are going to be given to people who sign up for notifications. Early notifications for Rainbow Brute. I'm going to be launching that email list soon. So people who sign up for that, you give me your email address, you get the notification about what the Rainbow Brute campaign is going to be. And what's going to be on it and when it's going to launch and all this stuff. You guys will get these cool exclusive Rainbow Brute. Look at it's rainbowy. There are rainbows in this sticker. You'll get one of those, just like customers of Wreck Planet got their Vespas trading cards. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got stuff going on right now, guys. While everyone else is talking about being missionaries and firing people and consolidating business for the good of the world, I guess, we're talking about growing and creating Rainbow Fairy comics and Frog comics and kicking ass left and right. All right, so I'll do a Q&A. I'm just going to look at the chat now, and you guys have questions. You guys have things that you want to say. You can say them, and I will answer you. Let's see. Emotionally Exhausted says, Bro White. Yeah, Bro White is going to be part of the campaign for Rainbow Brute. I'm trying to decide. I'm making a decision right now. If I were to call this book Cool Story Bro instead of Rainbow Brute, and the character would still be called Rainbow Brute, but the book itself would be called Cool Story Bro because it would be the story itself is about boys and girls mixing with each other's kind of fantasy worlds and how that kind of screws up or improves things. Cool Story Bro. If I called it that, then I could probably do a sequel. Now, and I would own Cool Story Bro. Rainbow Brute was just going to be a one-off parody, but if I call it something else, I can actually do more of it. The Bro White, as well as the parody of Gem and the Holograms, which is called Jim and the Homophobes, is going to be part of Toxic Fairy Tales for Masculine Men, which is going to be the additional book that comes with the campaign. I'm going to have other people, in some cases, come in and draw these toxically masculine versions of, girls' properties and classic fairy tales. So Bro White will be in there. I think I'll probably do Bro White. Jim and the Homophobes will be in there, and all kinds of other stuff that you guys are waiting to see. Let's see. Those stickers are great. Thank you, Hambone. Appreciate that. Rainbow Brute, Cool Story Bro, says Saul Leibowitz. It could be called Cool Story Bro, a tale of the Rainbow Brute or something like that. But Cool Story Bro is such a good title that I want to snag it. So, that's what I think I'm going to do. Yes, Jim and the Homophobes, we are going to do that. We're going to do all this stuff. We're going to take all of, will we do My Girthy Stallion, like a whole separate story about My Girthy Stallion instead of My Little Pony? Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll do that. We can do all that stuff. They're truly outrageous. They are. How dare they? And none of them shower because they're saving up their pheromones, says Dark Lord Mad Root. That's what Narwhal does. That's what Narwhal does. Uncle E, could we see a Cyberfrog book covering the lore for the universe and characters? I would totally throw my money at something like that. So, yeah, I was talking about doing something like that. A gigantic coffee table hardcover anthology book in which I would hire everyone in Comicsgate. All creators would get to be a part of this. And I would say to them this, look, the Vespas have invaded untold numbers of planets in the universe and destroyed them, or maybe they were cast back out of some of them. Maybe they succeeded, maybe they didn't. Maybe Perdani sent a Sin living craft to that planet and it became a cyber being to fight off the Vespis. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. Anyway, there's an infinite number of tales that can be told about the history of the Vespis and their attempted domination, their parasitic attack of all of these, these worlds in the universe. And not unlike Green Lantern, these are stories that need to be told. So I could hire everyone. I could get, everyone to do a 4-page story or an 8-page story about, one of these worlds. And, we just make a big compendium about it. So you could read about the Vespis. And as long as everybody followed the rules of what the Vespis do and how they operate and all of this stuff, it could be great. It could be great. So that's something that I might do, but that's like maybe next year sometime. It's definitely not this year. Yeah. Okay. People like the title, cool story, bro. So, that's something that's on the future. Let's see. David Allen says, please don't kill Sal. I love that death machine. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Future's wide open. Do we really need him? Do we need Salamandroid? We have Cyberfrog. Funky Monkey Comics for $5 says, you would be Davy Crockett whipping your weight in land whales. Fraggot is Wild Bill. Anna is Calamity Jane. Cecil is Doc Holliday. And Doug is Custer. Okay, that's good. View of Uranus says strawberry shortcakes, except instead of cute, they're ridiculously sexy. They look like Billy Tucci and Vinny T designed for Hasbro. Well, actually, the strawberry shortcake women are in Rainbow Brute. They are very sexy women who seduce you with baked goods, because this is a world, you understand. The world of Rainbow Brute is being conceived of by a 10-year-old boy. So somebody said, is Rainbow Brute gay? And I went, he's a little fairy barbarian. I don't know, draw your own conclusions. But he's the idea of a 10-year-old boy who was in his sister's room ruining her toys. So that's the whole behind the thing, behind the scenes world of Rainbow Brute. So the strawberry shortcake ladies are ridiculously sexy, but they seduce men. They seduce men with baked goods. And that's what they do. There's no sex. There's just, cake and pie and things like that. They are strawberry strumpets is what they are. So good stuff there. Sal lives matter. Sal lives matter. Some people really care about Salamandroid. Too many boring super chats, says Idris Ebola. Great name, Idris Ebola. Yeah. A troll button. Yeah. No, oh my God, did you see that? That was absolutely terrible. They got a troll doll with a button on her no place that when you touch it, it goes. She giggles and stuff. Very, very strange. Stonewall says, do you own Vortex number 5? I own a copy of that. I might own a copy of it. I haven't looked. I did try to buy all of the Hall of Heroes stuff of Matt and Trent's recently just to have it. I lost it a long time ago. So I do go out there and try to make sure that I have in my own personal collection multiple copies of everything. I had to go buy another Cyberfrog number 2 because the Cyberfrog number 2 that I was using had a big misprint in it. It was like the pages were folded and not cut properly. It sucked. So I just went out and bought a new one of those. Let's see. No sex, just cake. Stop telling us about yourself, says Ian O'Loughlin. Oh, cake would be so good right now. I can't do it though. I'm trying not to eat cake or pie right now. I'm eating, like I'm having protein. I had Andrew just make me some eggs before I got on here because I need energy. Just protein, caffeine, and water. And that's basically my diet right now. Is there an alternative cover artist for Rainbow Brute? Teflon Ron, not at this point. I haven't decided that. I feel like I need to draw Rainbow Brute a couple more times and people need to see how I picture him, because I'm seeing a lot of Rainbow Brute fan art that presupposes something that isn't in my head. I'm seeing a lot of like Rainbow Brute being a barbarian, like something, like Conan the Barbarian. And Rainbow Brute is he's a short and stocky dwarf character who talks like Popeye. He's pissed off all the time, and he has an Irish accent. He is a leprechaun. He sounds like a leprechaun. So that's Rainbow Brute. You can always see him. He's always he's always got that look on his face. He's drunk and he's pissed off. And that's our Rainbow Brute. He's a Wolverine type. Yeah, maybe. I mean, but he wears a ridiculously, wears a rainbow costume, and he's a fairy. And, he's got a lot to be pissed off about. Let's see. Please do Rainbow Brute and Holofoil. We're going to do a beautiful, everything about Rainbow Brute. The comic book is going to be like refractory in that way. Is it refractor? Wait, is refracted light, or is that the period of time that it takes before you can, create, before you can orgasm again? Wait a second. Refracted light and then your refractory period. Why are those two things the same? Why are those two words used? That's weird. Because so guys have a refractory period. That's after you orgasm. Takes a while. You can't do it again immediately. That's your refractory period. And then refracted light is the rainbow. I don't know. It's both. Yeah, it is. It's both. I don't really understand why that is though. What does refract mean? I'm going to have to look this up and do a little research, and I'll get back to you guys. I'll show you what's up. It's true. All right, let me see. Is there anything new, or do we have any updates about what's going on with Warner Brothers layoffs and DC Comics? Let me check real quick here. Layoffs at DC from CBR. They have a little article. AT&T is Warner Brothers is cutting a lot of divisions, and DC is one of them. A lot of people are already jumping to conclusions about this. No, they're not. They're not. People think that DC Comics is slow down. Everyone, slow your roll. A lot of SJWs are out there right now crying and saying that Warner Brothers is closing down, or AT&T is closing down DC Comics. No, take this one thing at a time. That's not the case yet. They're just firing a lot of people. When they actually do close down DC Publishing, we'll know about it, and obviously we'll do a show. They're going to lay off, a total of close to 900 people, and many of them are going to be from DC Comics, and I want to know who they are, and we don't know who they are yet. We might know tonight. We'll find out. I'll monitor this. Andrea already knows I'm going to be doing live streams about this because this is important news. Charlie's London says, as a kid, I played with Thundercats and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Auntie got me a Barbie and I buried her in the garden. Said I lost her. 2 years ago, next door's dog dug her up. That's cool. We used to bury our Star Wars figures too. The kid next door would, and I would go try to dig them up so I could steal them. Taco Sunrise says, Polly Pocket Alternative making an appearance. Yes, of course. Polly Pocket, who only bends at the waist. I mean, how do you have a doll who has one hinge and it's so that she bends over? Clearly she's a whore, or she's loose, she's free love. Rainbow Brute had a one-night stand with Polly Pocket and produced, without his knowledge, because Rainbow Brute is a love him and leave him type. By the way, the 10-year-old boy that's thinking of all this, he doesn't realize the implications of what he's thinking of. He just thinks Rainbow Brute had a kid with Polly Pocket, and that kid is Shiro Pocket, and Shiro Pocket is what we would call a sissy because he was raised by women. He was raised entirely by women. Where was his father? His father wasn't around. His father was out there fighting the Thundercloud men, drinking, picking fights with the emo grizzlies. He was not around to raise Shiro Pocket. And he finally finds out that he has this boy who looks like a member of Hanson. And he is going to take this boy and he's going to teach him. He's going to take him on a quest, and through that quest, he's going to teach him what it means to be a real man, and fight some onion patch kids, things like that. You'll see. But Polly Pocket is in there. She is disgruntled, single mother. This book's gonna be so fun. I love it. Absolutely love Rainbow Brute. Love it. It's gonna be. Is Shiro a simp? No, Shiro is a ruinously smart sissy. He's everything that Rainbow Brute would be not happy to have as a son. He's sensitive. He is wants to talk about his feelings. He's not good at physical activity. All of these things. So that's Shiro Pocket. And, at the end of the book, that's what this is about. This is about taking your soy boy son and making him into a man, a real man. It's about the importance of fatherhood. Rainbow Brute it's going to be a pretty heavy story for a fun story. And it's also all about Comicsgate and all about all of the various gates. It's like it starts out, a boy comes home from school. He's 10 years old, and his sister is in his bedroom, like having a tea party with his He-Mans. She's put them all in dresses. She's put lipstick on them, on his Star Wars figures. And this kid just blows his top. He says, "Get out of here. What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm making your stupid toys better." And he's like, these weren't made for you. These were made for me. She's like, "Look all around. Girls ruin everything. Girls ruin everything." He's like, "Go play with your own toys." And she's like, "My toys are stupid." And he's like, "That's because girls made them. It's not my fault. It's not my fault as your little brother. That your toys are stupid because girls made them." She kicks everything over, leaves his room, and she goes, and he decides that he's going to go in there. She said, "You can't do any better. It's not like boys could do any better." And he's going to go into her room and create an imaginary world with her toys, in which even these shitty girls' toys are kick-ass. And the message of this is that women do ruin everything. Girls ruin everything they touch. They have terrible imaginations, and boys have incredible imaginations. And girls and boys can take girls' toys and make them badass. We could take My Little Pony and make it kick-ass. We could take Rainbow Bright and make it kick-ass. We could take the Care Bears and make them kick-ass. We could take Strawberry Shortcake and make it kick-ass. And that's the message of all of this. And all girls can do is just add themselves into shit and ruin it for boys. Make it soy. And then they go, it sucked anyway, and they kick over the table and walk away. That's the story. This is what Rainbow Brute or Cool Story Bro is all about. It's going to teach a lesson. It's going to teach a lesson to everyone here. And all of these, it's going to teach a lesson to all these SJWs. It's going to be the perfect book. You guys are going to be very proud to show it to your families, to your wives, ladies, to your husbands. We're going to accomplish something great. Let's see. Robert Flores for $10 says, "To sell indie comics retail, have a copy of the first 5 pages of books so a customer can see preview the products. I think it would help a customer commit to buy. Would writer artists allow that to sell indie comics retail?" Well, I mean, yes. I think if they wanted to sell them retail, the thing about it is that Comicsgate doesn't want to sell retail. I think, like, as a whole, speaking just, for the ones that I know, the Comicsgaters that I know, we sell direct to consumer. We don't sell retail. Customers come to us through the internet. Selling retail means splitting our profits and giving away 2/3 of our profits to distributors and retailers. Doesn't seem like a good idea. Seems like we could sell fewer books and make more money rather than more books and make less money. It just seems like something that we could do that makes more sense. But if anybody wanted to, I'm sure that they would commit to doing that. Juan Franco says, "Can you make Rain Brute sound like Cecil, like a Jewish grandma?" No, I think he sounds like Popeye with an Irish accent. I keep saying, like, I can't do a Popeye impersonation, but he mutters under his breath. He curses under his breath. And he talks real fast under his breath. So that's kind of who Rainbow Brood is. Yeah. Let's see. I think it's a mistake not to sell at a local comic shop. Okay. I mean, I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's a choice that you could make. It'd be an interesting way, I guess, for more people to see the books, possibly. But again, I don't think there's a wider venue for selling independent comic books than YouTube. I don't think putting your book in a diamond catalog when you're an indie and you're not an established company like Marvel or DC is going to do you any favors. I think you're going to be ignored. I think you might get a couple of books out there into shops, but yeah, I really don't see the point of it. Project 17 says there's been shots fired at the White House. What? Are you serious? Hold on a second here. Oh, Secret Service responds. Whoa. Holy cow. Shots fired at the White House. Secret Service treating shooting near the White House as a suicide attempt. A man shot himself outside the north fence of the White House Saturday. No one else was harmed during the shooting. Former assistant director of the FBI joined CBSN to discuss how law enforcement will handle the incident, which took place while Trump is in Florida. Okay, so, shots fired at the White House. Everything seems to be okay. But yeah, that is too bad. That's awful. All right, I'm going to end this stream for now. I'm going to come back when we get more information, which might be tonight, about any severances, any redundancies that have happened. No, minutes ago. Did I read the wrong story? Hold on a second now. How did I read the wrong story? Let's see. Shots fired at the White House. Oh, yeah, that is the wrong story. You're right. You're right. That was from 2018. News. That's 1 day ago. What the hell? Tools, all news, recent. Yeah, I don't know. Give me 1 second, guys. Drudge Report will have it at least, even though Drudge Report has become communist. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This isn't really what we talk about normally, but Secret Service ends Trump press conference, doors locked, shots near the White House. John Roberts Fox reports the sounds of shots fired near the White House developing. Okay, that was 14 minutes ago. What else? Doors are locked. Secret Service pulls Trump out of press conference at White House. The agent interrupted Trump at the White House press room. The president said, "Oh," and left the podium. So that must be why. There's a guy with a gun outside. Yeah, everybody's sane, guys. Don't worry. Everyone's okay. Everyone is sane right now. Comicsgate is the problem. Trump is the problem. Everyone else is perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. And I'm going to respect these people. All right, let me see here. Super chats. Jalapeno Milk says, "Can we get your Battletoads impressions on August 20th?" The new video game or the TV show? Yeah, I'll watch it. I saw the video game and it looked like shit. Can you make? Oh, let's see. Tom King's dad must effing hate him so much, says Donut Swan. I don't know about that. Cyberfrog Turtles crossover someday maybe, says Ringy542. Yeah, I would love to do that. That would actually be fun. Raging Golden Eagle says, watch Shaft 2019 if you want inspiration for that kind of storyline. Hilarious movie about turning a millennial into a man. Loch Ness Yoshi says, well, I had my first SJW spam insults at me on one of my videos. Much of it must have did something right. Also, how much is warts and all going to be again? Yeah, congrats on getting insulted by SJWs, I guess. Warts and all is going to be $30, and there's going to be a $100 tier and a $200 super tier. So $30 for just the book. Let's see. Polly Pocket. Please don't kill Sal. Davy Crockett. I think I'm all caught up. Got to make sure. Plan. Every time they try a cover like the Wonder Woman's cover, we start an Indiegogo collecting all fan art versions and break the original sales figures, says Purple Brain. I don't think we're allowed to do that. By the way, what's up with that kid on Kickstarter who tried to do a Batman fan art comic? A Batman like fan fiction comic book? Is that still up? Let's see. Cecil says, I spent all yesterday drinking on a boat. My kidneys hurt. Yeah, we were wondering where you were. Man of War 665 says, give him all a 55-gallon drum of Vaseline as severance. Bugnish Bachwinkle says, perplexed portrait, new Flint Flossy out now. I know, I already purchased it. I think everybody should get the new Flint Flossy CD. Okay, I think I'm caught up. All right. I'm going to end this stream, and we're going to find out what's what with Trump and everything else, and DC. Like I said, today is a significant day. I don't know what's going on, but big things are happening. This stream was crazy. We had 2,500 people watching at one point. Thank you, everyone. If you wouldn't mind very much, please do hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button on your way out, and do me a big favor. I'll be back tonight with more information as more information comes in. Love you all, and see you all again soon. Take care.